Hi, I'm Jennifer Bourne of jenniferbourne.com, and I'm here today talking about how to choose a freelance business niche and how to do so besides defining an ideal client or customer. Most freelancers, when talking about narrowing the focus of their business, are talking about choosing an ideal client or defining an ideal client persona. The success of this approach when niching a freelance business is undeniable. But let's face it, most freelancers, especially web designers and developers, have trouble identifying just one ideal client. Maybe you find yourself in the same boat because I know I did. One ideal client didn't make sense for my web design agency when thinking about it the traditional way. Right? I worked with a variety of clients across all sorts of industries. I worked with men and women, enterprise, small business, B2B, B2C. It was all over the place. But here's the good news. There are different ways to niche down your freelance business. The first, obviously, is to niche by ideal client. This is the most common approach to narrowing your focus and choosing a niche. The ideal client is just a client that understands the value that you deliver. They are happy to pay your worth and they're excited to get started working with you. With this approach, you have to create an ideal client profile or a persona, a representation of a real life, perfect fit client. These clients have a deep understanding of what you bring to the table, and you have a deep understanding of who they are. This requires data gathering and research, where you have to understand the demographics of your ideal client. You need to understand objective, factual, statistical data. You're looking at things like age, gender, ethnicity, income, mortgage amount, homeowner or rental status, their marital status, geographic location, number of children, vehicle type, occupation, educational level. Right? What you look at depends on the industry you're in, what you're selling, and what data you need. But this is an example of demographics. You may also look at certain psychographics. This is data about attitudes, aspirations, interests, lifestyle, and other psychological criteria that explains why clients will buy. Right? What their motivation is, what their mindset is, what their beliefs and attitudes, opinions, goals, dreams, interests, and hobbies are. This is information that speaks more to their personality, their values, their lifestyle, and how they spend their money. Then there's behavioral analysis. This is data on the behaviors and the actions that your ideal clients or customers take in relation to what you're selling, right? We don't want just any action. It has to be related to what you're selling. So that data, typically, we're looking at things like what types of email they're opening the most, what blog posts are they reading, what social media posts are getting the most shares and the most likes, where are they getting the most feedback, where are they seeing sales spike, why do repeat customers continue to buy, right? We're looking at those data points that can help us identify who are our ideal clients and customers. Once you understand who that is, you can tailor your brand, your marketing, and your messaging to speak directly to them so they feel understood and they're more able to connect with your brand. But sometimes it's impossible, or at least it feels impossible, to pick an ideal client or a customer. So there's a different way that you can niche down, so you can narrow your business, and that's by ideal service. Many freelance designers and developers that I talk to struggle to define their niche by ideal client. I told you I did earlier on in this video. Here's the thing. Instead, you can niche by service, which means you work with a wide variety of people on a very specific service. In this case, you're niching down by the thing that you do rather than the person that you serve. When you niche by ideal service or ideal offer, you're positioning yourself as a specialist and you're narrowing down your offers to just the things that you do the absolute best. And while you're only offering those services, you're willing to perform those services for anyone who needs them, right? So here, if we look at kind of examples, there are three that come to mind that are fairly obvious, right? Plumbers. Plumbers only offer plumbing services, but they do it to anyone who needs plumbing help. They may even niche further down by doing only residential plumbing services or only commercial plumbing services. There are web designers, right? You might choose to only build Squarespace sites or only build WordPress websites, but you'll do them for any person in any industry at any size. You may niche further down by saying, I'm only going to do support services for existing websites. I'm only going to build new websites, or I'm going to build a specific type of website. Copywriters are also another great example. They're specializing in content packages, content development, but again, will work with any kind of business to help get that done. Or they can niche down even further and specialize in website content packages, sales page packages, technical writing, blog posts. Now you might say, I don't necessarily have one service I want to niche down into, and I definitely don't have one client. What's your next option? Niching down by industry. If you are a generalist, if you are a jack of all trades who doesn't want to niche down by client or by service, another option is going with a broad category of client, right? Becoming an expert in an industry that interests you. You learn everything possible about it. You learn the different roles, the challenges, the struggles, the business opportunities, the overarching topics that are being discussed. You learn who the big players are and how revenue is generated in that industry. So hands down, you're an expert. That is undeniable. When you niche by industry and become that expert, those clients in that industry trust you much faster than any other way, right? Hiring you becomes a no-brainer because you've positioned yourself as an authority in that industry. So a couple examples might be a real estate virtual assistant. This is a virtual assistant who offers a wide variety of digital support services to those in the real estate industry. Realtors, mortgage brokers, lenders, appraisers, real estate attorneys, even property managers. Maybe you're a CPA who narrows down and niches on the construction industry. You offer bookkeeping, accounting, and tax services for those in the construction industry, for licensed contractors, home builders, remodeling contractors, painters, drywall contractors, roofers, stucco contractors, pool builders, tile contractors, electricians, or plumbers. Maybe you become an expert in that industry, right? Or hospitality marketing services. You can be a marketing agency that specializes in the hospitality industry, offering a wide variety of marketing services to hotels, resorts, limousine companies, bars, restaurants, airlines, cruise companies, casinos, marinas, entertainment venues. Right? If you narrow your focus to a specific industry, you're watching those relevant trends, the shifts, the research, the news, and the predictions about that industry carefully. So you can always make sure that you're positioned as a go-to resource for those in the industry who need help with what you do. Now, if none of these three fit, that's okay. You might be thinking, none of these options fit me. I don't want to niche by industry. I don't want to tie myself to one industry. I don't want to just offer one service that I'm going to niche down into. And there isn't just one kind of person that I work with. Don't fret, because there's still one more option. You can niche by problem. Right? I work with all sorts of people in all sorts of industries on several different types of projects, from copywriting and content strategy to branding to messaging to building websites and designing event materials. How do I find a niche and narrow down for my business? It's a question that I found that a lot of people have. Tons of people are in the exact same spot I was in, right? I was right in this spot wondering, maybe I'm doing something wrong if it's this hard to figure out how I want to niche down. But it's normal, so don't stress out about it. Your strategy is just different. Rather than choosing an ideal client or a specific service or a specific industry, you can niche down by a specific problem that you solve. you can solve one problem doing a variety of services for a variety of people in a variety of industries. So consider, what do all of your clients have in common? What are they all trying to figure out how to do, how to accomplish? Are all of your clients trying to get their first website off the ground? Are all of your clients trying to launch an online business or take a retail shop online? Are all of your clients trying to get more clients themselves or make more sales, convert more leads? Right? These are common challenges that can be addressed with a variety of services. These are common challenges by people in all different industries and all different types of businesses. Right? So you can focus on the problem that you help people solve and then do it for all kinds of people. Things that you need to consider, though, when you're choosing a freelance niche are, do I have any experience serving this niche? If you don't have any experience, you have to do some work to get some, right? How much do I enjoy this niche, right? If I'm going to narrow down to one type of client, one type of service, one type of industry, or solving one type of problem, do I like it? Do I enjoy it? Is it interesting to me? Will I find it interesting day in and day out? Is the niche large enough to be viable? Right? Is there enough business there? Are my services familiar, understood, and accepted in that niche? Can I easily solve a problem? Right? If you can't figure out an easy problem to solve, then you might be setting yourself up for more work than you actually have time for or can do. You also want to think about, especially if you're niching by problem, how important is solving this problem to the people in that niche? Do the people in that niche already invest in the services that you're offering? Is there proof that it's needed and people are willing to pay for it? And what's the average price people are willing to pay or to invest for the services that you're delivering? If you ask yourself these questions and you determine that a niche is viable, it is interesting, and it is lucrative, then go for it. Try narrowing down the focus of your freelance business. Track your efforts, look at the results, and see what happens. If you find success, celebrate it. If you need to make a little adjustments, a little course correction, that's okay too. There's no one right approach to narrowing down your business or choosing a niche. And the good thing is, you can always pivot later if you need to. But for now, you've got 4 choices: niche by ideal client, by service, by industry, or by problem. And I can pretty much guarantee that one of those is going to work for you. That's it for now. Thanks so much for being here. Again, I'm Jennifer of jenniferborn.com. Hit subscribe so you get all the latest videos and blog posts so you never miss a thing. And until next time, I hope you have a great day.